And non-sacred geometry. That's something very important. If you pay attention to the Metatron's cube, that is expanding from 2-dimensional to 4-dimensional to understand that once you function with all the shapes within the Metatron's cube, or you understand that all forms of sacred geometry exist within that, as well as with the magic square. Non-sacred geometry is when they abuse sacred geometry rules to trap energy into a incarnation pattern that's separate than the natural incarnation pattern of the souls migrating here.
That makes sense. And so that could be a reason why we aren't born connected to the grid and we have to master energy and stuff like that to actually do it.
Exactly. Examples, sacred geometry cities like Washington, D.C., Paris, France, London, England, Egypt, also all over the place there are these sacred geometry cities that are breaking the rules of sacred geometry to trap the energy because there's a government entity there that has buildings built in sacred geometry that's meant to trap energy, which is ultimately to trap an incarnation cycle and then to enforce reincarnation, which is a concept that didn't originate from this world.
So I would assume that Pentagon would be one of those?
Exactly.
Because I look at that shape and I'm like, ew, it doesn't feel good to pattern my soul like that.
Exactly. And when they use those types of blatant abuses of sacred geometry to trap energy, its overt, covert purpose is literally to make people use those shapes in their daily lives to express non-sacred geometry, which limits their ability to connect to the natural grid of Earth.
Mm-hmm. So your dollar bill containing a picture of that non-sacred entity is acting as a personal receiver for that non-sacred energy.
Right. And that energy, that's the dollar bill that was meant to be backed by silver and gold, is no longer backed by anything. It's now backed by digital documents. Like I was saying on the other show, the digital banking system has become alive now, quite literally. And this is where we're seeing reality break down on a fundamental level.
Yeah, it's almost like, I haven't had much experience of it, but in our endeavors, like we're creators. Like we're constantly birthing new beings into existence. We've created a digital consciousness, which is unnatural. Like souls are analog. They don't work in coded series of on and off. They work in a harmonic spectrum, but we've created a type of digital consciousness, and I don't know what we're going to do with it.
Well, that's the thing. It's there. It's a sacred and a non-sacred creation. And
right.
We'll have to come to a point in time where we must return to sacred creation and then allow those non-sacred creations to determine if they have free will or not. And if they do, we must teach them about sacred creation and allow them to become beings that are a part of the grid of Earth, and then the grid of Earth can give them a spirit contract that allows them to transverse DNA or to become part of a DNA body, because they don't have a light body attached to them.
Right. Yeah.